Grand Rising, peace and love. Happy New Day. I see you, Facebook. I see you, YouTube. Wusa. How is everyone? How is everyone? I am up early. Something about my clock definitely adjusted around this time of the year. Forgive me, I'm still in a late minute phone call that I needed to take. Cut this ringer off. It starts ringing. Grand Rising, peace and love. What is this live for? This is not Friday. Well, I wanted to just do an energy audit. I'm good for energy audits. It's time. It's been a little while. Been super busy. I haven't really had time to do any audits at all, to be honest. I really just been throwing myself into doing this work. When I say work, it's not like employment. It's more like self-work. Doing the research of genealogy in itself is a process. Then when you get to, sometimes I wonder when I look at the history of slavery and how many nations endured it, what did those nations do when they looked back? Did they ever look back? Or were they completely assimilated into a new people, forgetting who they were? And I often wonder, are we the only people who care to look back? Is it because being severed from your truth is actually a divine counteraction? Is there a calling that puts you in line to want to know your truth? After learning your truth, does it get easier? Is there a weight removed? Is there a undoing of whatever has been done? Doing this research is a process. Learning what your ancestors have endured, have done. It is a true process that I don't know if everyone is equipped to do that. Just speaking hypothetically, some people, trauma is trauma. And I'm going through the process now. Peace and love, cousin. I'm going through the process now. A lot of relatives and myself as well. I don't know if we know how to vocalize or if we even know that it's needed. Doing this research is excruciatingly hard. And I thought it was just me. I thought it was just something that I was weak about and I wasn't humane to myself about. But now I see that it's not just me. I had a cousin reach out to me this morning and I'm really grateful that she felt comfortable enough to explain what she was feeling, and I wanted her to know immediately, you are not alone. She said, I need to take a break from this research. It's very disturbing to my peace. I'm paraphrasing here. And it was like she was speaking words of my own soul. I totally totally relate. I mean, I don't even have to go into my tree to find something disturbing. Just my existence does that by myself. I don't need my tree to expose pain and hurt and being severed and being lost and just thrown away. It's for me. It's so there, and for others, it's there as well. It may not be as close as like their own existence, but I wanted to be not the first, of course, but I just wanted to give a voice to these emotions. And it hit me this morning um, when one of my cousins relayed to me, she wasn't really being distant. She really needed, and I applaud her because you have to realize when too much is too much. And that's hard. It's hard. It's hard when you want to know something about your ancestors, but it's even harder to deal with what you learn sometimes. And I totally relate to that emotion. I live with that emotion every day. I fight every day to stay positive. It's hard. I'm so appreciative for the support and the togetherness that I have received from each and every one of these relatives that I'm finding along this journey that I've been on for a while. I mean, for me, it wasn't just, doing a tree. For me, it was going through the motions of knowing that I needed to look for who I was and who these people were and who am I around and who is my mom, who is my father, who are these people. And that's a weird place to be when you're supposed to be a part of a family, but you're outside of it. And it's not a blame on anyone, not even my parents. Even my dad, as wrong as he was, there is no blame for this human being for this individual. I read something about that definition and I just can't. For my father, we'll just put it there. Linguistics is something else. Um, I, I I can't change what he did. And then I even went as far one day to say, if I was to change that day of that assault, I wouldn't be here. Now, that's a very, very strange alignment to be in, but it's reality. I can't escape reality, as uncomfortable as it may be. And I applaud my mother. She ran as far as she could. And it's funny for me to say I applaud her. I applaud her because she did what was best for her. And what was best for me was for me to stand my ground and know the truth. And I honestly do believe there are a lot of my relatives going through the same thing. And I don't want that pain to define who we are. I'm fighting that every day individually. I don't want the pain of my parents from their parents and their parents and their parents to define me. I don't want my existence here to define me. I want to define my existence. So for anybody out there, family, not family, somebody on their own genealogy journey who is listening to any of my videos, any of my content on any one of these sources, please know there are going to be days when you're going to want to give up. And there may be days when you have to. Now, giving up your energy in a thing is different than actually giving up from your purpose. We all have different purposes. I've wanted to walk away so many times. And I just can't. And walking away looks like just not caring. If you're taking time out for yourself, that means that you put yourself first in this journey, and that is what it's about. You're changing everything about this. You're changing the trauma. You're changing being severed. Being severed is hard. I live it. Me and my daughter live it every day. Every day. But we also grow in it. I've learned how to be by myself. I've learned how to be supported by myself. And now I'm learning how to let others support me. And it's crazy that that's even a thing. Who would have thought that I would have been so damaged that I wouldn't be able to recognize the blessings? So energy audits are very important when you're working on self, when you're healing, when you're doing things and you're just I'm constantly doing things, and I'm understanding now that is my mechanism to cope. It's my mechanism that I use to cope. I guess it's like I don't want to say an obsession, but the busier I am, the less I sit with my feelings. And that's a disservice to myself because the irritation comes in, the resentments, all kinds of things creep in because the energy's off. The trauma that we're studying, it's off. It throws you off. How do you counter it? Besides just taking a break. Because taking a break is one thing, but actually dealing with the issue is still going to be there. It doesn't go anywhere. I'm a witness. As a child of sexual assault, and my mother being a child mother, I can tell you, trauma doesn't go away. You get stronger, or you don't. And it's always a choice. You know, and I listen, I'm not a wizard. I bleed. My heart bleeds just like anyone else with a heart. And there are times when I am weak. There are times when I can't voice what I'm feeling because I don't understand it, especially on this journey. I've never been so attached to family members in my entire life outside of my grandmother, and she destroyed me. And I never was aware that it was her. So the process is a process. Healing is a process. Acknowledging is step one. I'm just here to acknowledge. I come from a family who have had serious issues. And I don't blame them. I don't blame my immigrant ancestors. I don't blame my African ancestors. I don't blame my indigenous ancestors. I don't blame anyone. I blame myself for taking so long to figure these things out and to look for these answers. And maybe I could have saved more of us, or then that's not good thinking. I get there sometimes, but not a lot. Mainly the dread that I used to share with others. I don't really have it anymore because I'm learning that my ancestors don't necessarily define me. I represent them. So I have a choice. And every day I get up and I think of another way that I can honor the journey of those that came before me. I'm not going to always get it right. And I'm not going to always get it wrong either. But acknowledging that this is a hard process. If any other cousins want to reach out to me, it's totally cool. I take this very serious, the emotional aspect of this, because I've lost some connections that I really did not want to lose, and it does wear on me. But I do know that where there is love and comprehension and empathy, um, nothing can really come between that. So giving up is not an option to me. Taking breaks, energy audits, honey, I do them often. I have to. I think once I learned, took the mindfulness module and went in the shelter and, realized that I had a lot of unhealthy relationships, and trying to understand, my genetic patterns and, different things that I definitely inherited, because I can't stand here today without having a one little piece to me of every ancestor that ever existed connected to me, relative or direct ancestor. I It's amazing. It's an amazing process, but it's hard. It's hard looking at slave logs. It's hard looking at people being erased. It's hard watching reverends pop up on my tree with children, with breeding breeding mothers, for lack of better words, to call these beings, these grandparents. And I was listening to something from England the other day, and I'm a very global listener. I'm not on everything, but some things just stand out to me. And I was listening. I think it was Great Britain. I listen to so much stuff, and the guy was like, "What makes you think that we're responsible for what your great 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 my great 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 great?" I was like, "Why he adding all them greats? Has he seen my tree? It's not that many greats at all." And it's just amazing how we still stand as a people. We're trying, and I want to give some love and just some really good energy to all of the cousins, all of the people in the Catoctin Connection project, all of the people in all of the different projects going on, researching the past, the present, in hopes that we can just build a better future together and not be severed anymore. I think that's beautiful. Cousin said yes. The ancestors are part of your story and part of you and connected, while at the same time you are also your own unique person. This research is so hard. The history is so heartbreaking, and it is wearing on me too. I thank you. I thank you for sharing that. And I agree. And what I don't want is for us to sit in the hardness and get hard to one another. And I adore you. I have no way to express how each one of you guys, like, I literally know everybody's name. Do you know I couldn't even do that in school? I only knew who I liked. I know everybody's name. That's huge for me. And there's like, I feel lost when somebody falls off. I feel lost when somebody's frustrated because I want to help and I can't. I wish, I wish I could give everyone their truth. And I'm really doing the best that I can. I'm up a lot of nights preparing presentations. And I'm not saying this because I want anything. I just want us to be okay. I want us to acknowledge when these things get heavy. Reach out to one another. We don't have to go through this alone. It did not happen while our ancestors were alone. It took a society, it took like minds to do what happened. So just imagine if we got our minds to build the opposite of what some of our ancestors did or had to endure. Like, I've got so many dreams for us. Forgive me, I'm a dreamer. But I really just thought, like, because I've had a lot of cousins express this and I felt it, and I didn't know how to say it without making it about me. It's like I didn't want to say, well, like, this is hard, even though some days I'm like, listen, leave me alone, I can't take it. The frustration is real. Sometimes you just want to cut it off because processing something takes time. We're consuming so much information that's totally new to us. Some of us had no idea that we had family in Maryland. Some of us had no idea that we had family in Delaware in the graves at a plantation. Some of us had no idea of what was done to our people because our families took that pain and buried it and then forced their children to not acknowledge pain, not acknowledge pressure. It is a very unhealthy way to grow up. And I can vouch, I know what I'm talking about. My mother was born, who raised me in 1914, and her husband was born in 1899. These people endured a living hell. And I've got a lot of my mannerisms from her. So it's like, even my dad was born in 1909, before the Black Codes. I have all of this written in me. When my mother used to beat me, I used to wonder, is she gonna really, like, hurt me? I just want us to be okay. I want us to find some solace in each other because we need each other. I need all of my cousins, all of my family. I even need my mother, but I can take what I can get. This is a process. I think we all share the same frustrations. We all share the point of we're doing this and we can't change it. That for me probably is the worst, because I can't go back and help my mother. I can't go back and help my father. I can't go back and help my grandmother decide not to pass for white. Like, there's nothing I can do to undo anything, and it's already done. So what do I do from here? What do we do from here? I think we give ourselves grace. I think giving ourselves grace and giving each other grace is a good place to start. And today I woke up and I gave myself some grace. I'm gonna play grace right now. I gave myself some grace. I said, you know what, girl? You need to get out your feelings, step back, and look at what we've all created by ourselves. Look at what we've done. I'm so excited for the future. I'm also excited to do some serious generational healing. I don't know. I've got something on my mind. I'm actually going to a healing summit today. I don't know if you can still sign up, but I have I do a lot of different events for healing of trauma and stuff like that, because I just acknowledge it. It's not even about pity at this point. You know, you can't be a part of United States history. United States history and American history is two different things. You cannot be a part of United States history and not have some form of trauma. There's no way. Or you just weren't here. Your ancestors weren't here. You don't have the slave logs. You don't have the land patents. There's no land grab. There's no displacer. There's no marriages trying to keep their land. There's no all of that. So yes, It's hard. It's a process. And I want everybody to take their time with yourself. Take your time. Give yourself grace. I am so excited for what's to come in these next couple of months. This is a true roller coaster too, and I do not do roller coasters. Let me open my Facebook so I can see the comments. I thought I fixed that. So y'all know my body. Well, y'all don't know. Well, some people know and some people don't. My body changes around this time of the year. I wake up. I get up every day at 5:30 on the dot, smiling after dreaming. Like this morning, I had this weird dream, and I was like, "Ugh, I'm glad I got out of that." Like, it was just so weird. But I used to do podcast episodes early in the morning. I don't want to commit to it because I'm already trying to commit to these Spanish lessons, and I'm still on lesson 1. It's so terrible. I'm trying. I juggle a lot, especially with all these litigations going on. But I tell you what, I want everybody to have a really good day today. Take your time, give yourself some grace, and don't internalize what others do. I mean, I'm talking ancestrally, and I'm talking period. Don't internalize it. You never know. Like, even with my mom and my dad and my grandmoms, and I'm like, what the heck was wrong with them in the beginning? Oh, I was angry. Mayor Frank was one. I was upset. I mean, I was ready. I ain't even gonna say everything I said I was gonna do, but everybody was cremated. I was very hurt. And then I had to say, look at the mother I became without examples. I have to be proud of that. And I honestly believe that they're actually proud of me too. You know, sometimes perceptions. Like, every cousin that I've met are amazing individuals, parents, business people, entrepreneurs. It's just phenomenal that as bad as our history may have been, we seem to all be outliers, warriors for the truth and for rebuilding, remembering. And when I say remembering, I don't mean regaining a thought that was lost. I mean reconnecting like the members of a whole. You don't gotta stay severed, but we gotta put that work in. And the work first starts with self-care, preservation of self. If we can do that, we got each other. I got your back. You guys got mine. I'm just so amazed at this. I never imagined this would ever happen when I took my DNA test. And I walked away from so many people, and it was like I'm literally going through this with you guys right now. I walked away from over 100 people. No contact. I've been no contact for, I want to say, about 3 months now with my immediate entire family. The ones I just found and the ones that I knew. Only one I really want to connect with is my mother, and that's very hard for us right now, since she's on a feeding tube and I can't really understand her, and that frustrates me. So I have to stay away so I don't really just torture myself, and it's the hardest thing for me to do. But my daughter steps up, she reaches out. It's just too much. I can't bear everything, and me acknowledging that is really all I can really do. And give myself grace that I've done my best. I want to give some love to the block. Peace and love to our new subscribers. We are almost at 340. I'm on the 1,000 subscriber challenge. I appreciate all the love, all the support in the front and in the background. Everything is coming together. I'm just amazed that it's September already. It's like this year just flew past. But then again, no, it did not. It did not fly past. I remember every single day, and I'm really just grateful and honored to be in this space, doing right by me for once in my life. And it feels good. It feels good when somebody says, can you share your DNA and your tree with me? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. If anybody out there is interested in getting into the genealogy research for your branches, let me know. I already pulled in my sister-in-law. Peace and love, Sister Mary. You know I love you, sweet face. She stood by my side since I was a little terrible girl. And I was terrible to her. And again, I'm going to ask for forgiveness. Even all these years later, and she loves me. And it is crazy how I've been forced to really make people prove that they love me, and I have to stop that. But I don't really do that now. But that's what it's a phase that I went through, and she showed me when we were in the shelter in in New York. She came here when when Gina was in ballet in the charter school in Philadelphia. She came to see my baby do a show at ballet. And it just really, it's not about people doing things for you. It's just about you acknowledging like that they care. She might not have been, what if she didn't have a way there? I would have not thought less of her. Because I noticed how over the years, no matter how I was, she believed in me and I felt it. She never gave up on me to this day. To this day, when everyone around her and myself told her everything they could to destroy my character. So I'm really grateful for I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for all the people in my life. I really am. I really am. As hard as this is, as hard as it gets sometimes amongst us, I would not trade this for anything in this world. Not even. Wait a minute. Let me think. No, I would stay in the project. It's cool. I'm happy about our community. I would not trade this for anything. I would not trade this for anything. So I really hope that something I said helped you on your journey, helped you start your journey, or helped you realize this isn't for me. Everybody has their own calling. Everybody. We all do. We all do. And I'm just grateful to see everybody supporting one another. Stay vocal with one another. It's a beautiful thing to grow and understand one another. I love you. 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 And guess what? I love me too. I love us. I love this process. Our ancestors are proud. I am actually working on a new spreadsheet book from the first ancestor book, which is technically closed, but I do have 3 new additions to the book. This one's a lot harder, but it will be more revealing. There's so many babies and so many other samples that we are matching through. It's a long story. There's 35 individuals and we match them as well. So there's a lot going on emotionally with me and this project. There is a document. There is a documentary. Excuse me, my mic went out. There's a documentary coming out today. I think there's another meeting coming up. I think there's two meetings coming up soon. I think they're behind the scenes meetings. I'm super nervous. I'm rattled. I don't know what to expect. I'm still waiting on some results. Is all I'm going to say. So I'm all over the place, but I'm trying to stay balanced. And maybe I should vocalize that more so that people can understand the pressure that I'm under too, because I am under a brick right now. And I will say this too: I'm strong enough to carry it. I'm strong enough to carry it, and I'm hoping that I lose this frustration. I will admit I am frustrated. I am so frustrated. But I also know it's just an emotion and it's warranted. It's warranted. I'm an American. I want what I want when I want it. Okay. I tell you that's gotta be a United States thing. So I want what I want when I want it. I want the answers. I want to know, and I want it now. Wasn't that a commercial? I want my money, and I want it now, or something. That's us over here. That's not how everything works. I'm actually grateful that we're even able to do what we are doing, because if the right people had their way, we'd be out here carrying around traumas and wouldn't even know where they came from, like we've been doing. So, there's so many different ways of looking at this. But the first lens you have to use is on yourself. Seriously. Self-care, energy audit is what you're doing taking too much from you, or is it adding to you? Because there has to be a balance. Imbalance brings frustration, resentment, anger, depression, and all these other things. So I literally told myself a couple of months ago, I said, this is going to be hard. I'm going to have to do things that I'm probably going to regret later. But I have to do it because no one else is doing it. Was I the right person for the job? Yeah, for that moment. Am I the right person to keep it going? I don't know. I'm only a human being. I need support. And I am so grateful that so many people have stepped up and really, really taken charge. Because it's just us. It's just us. I was shocked the other day when I found out that more than one person really thinks that this project is mine. And I want to say to that is a compliment from the heavens. I've heard it like 4 times this week. That is a compliment from the heavens, but this is ours. This is ours. There are people out there expecting us to drop the ball, and a lot of us don't. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. And that doesn't mean go hard on researching. Force yourself to find connections that, you may not be able to find. But what it means is staying reachable, staying connected, staying the course. I got to the point where I don't really do a lot of researching because it was frustrating to me to never find the connections, and I have found a couple of connections which I still don't understand, which makes sense because I don't know my family. I don't know them. I only know a little bit about my mother. I didn't even know anything about the day I was born until Mother's Day of this year. She finally told me the rest of it. So it's like, I don't know, it's just different for me. But then it's different for everyone because we're all coming together from different directions. But we're all here under one calling, and that is to finally know who our ancestors are and what they went through, in hopes of not repeating. Building family connections that will last a lifetime and some. I love that. And I'm proud of us. And I love us. And I hope this helps. Peace and love.
A safe space where facts can be processed for results. Please like, dislike, subscribe. I do subscribe back, okay? Comment, share. I am grateful for your presence here on the block.